All right, awesome. Welcome everybody to the session before last of the Summer 2024 Localized Virtual Career Fair. Today, we're very excited to have members from PMI, a long-term partner of Localized. We're talking about advancing project management excellence in Africa, sharing insights and strategies. Today, we have with us Joanna Baidu, Partner Success Specialist, Africa for the Project Management Institute, and Joseph Bannerman, member of the PMI Next Gen Outreach Committee. We're very excited to welcome you both on Localized today. Thank you for your time. And Joanna, please take it away.
Thank you, Ahmed. It's a pleasure, and welcome everyone. Good afternoon, good morning, wherever you're dialing in from. It's a pleasure to have you here. Thank you all for your time. Just to clarify, the title Partner Success Specialist, just so you have an understanding, in my role at PMI, I am focused specifically on academic engagement, social impact in youth. And really what that means is my purpose is to support you in every step of your career journey with tools and resources for continuous career development. So really, I serve with passion a community of rising young leaders like yourselves to help you build and deploy your skills to ensure that you implement the change that you desire to see in your countries and across the region. So I really want you to kind of see me as your ally or your friend or even an advocate for everything that concerns you in ensuring that you're better equipped to play, your role in the elevation of Africa's success stories, because together, really, we can. And just bearing in mind that Africa's future is here, it's today, and it's now. So bearing that in mind, that kind of leads me into my first kind of question. Focusing again on project management excellence in Africa. In case you didn't know, the African Union has an agenda by title Agenda 2063, which is also known as the Africa We Want. Now, the Africa We Want is Africa's blueprint and master plan for transforming Africa. Now, it's important to note that the Africa We Want can really only be achieved by providing young people like yourselves with the education, entrepreneurship opportunities, and so much more. And so, bearing that in mind, this year, the African Union have actually declared this year's theme as a year of educating an African fit for the 21st century. So bearing this in mind, I believe the time to invest in African people is now. It's time to invest in yourself. So bearing that in mind, Joseph, I would like to kind of hear from you how you've kind of taken the time to ensure that you're investing in yourself, to ensure that you are playing your role to see the Africa that we want.
Thank you very much, Joanna. Hello to everyone. My name is Joseph Bannerman, and I'm a member of PMI. PMI is Next Gen Outreach Committee group. So this group under PMI is a network of 11 people who have been tasked, not tasked per se, just we met earlier in Mexico. We realized we shared some ideas, and we all like project management, like the youth. And then we have been sort of brainstorming on how to advance project management, and not just project management, how to advance the careers and pathway, especially from education. So early success from secondary schools, high school age, maybe 15, 16, 18, onwards to universities, how they can transform or move directly from school into working roles or volunteering opportunities like this, whereby they may have the opportunities to showcase their talents or skills to not just the country you live in. As I said, as a member, I represent the whole African continent. And we have other members representing Europe, America, East Europe, and other Asia and others. So before I joined the project management committee group, I still am. I work with the Youth Employment Agency. It's a government agency in Ghana, and it's a government agency mandated to facilitate job opportunities, job creation. So we offer training or facilitate training sessions educational programs and others for the youth aged between 18 to 35 in Ghana under various educational classes. We engage with people who in Ghana completed their first secondary education. We call it a junior high school. We also engage people who completed the second cycle, secondary education, and also up to tertiary levels. So we have a variety of groups that we cater to. And yeah, I've been working with the Youth Employment Agency since 2019, so for about a number of years now.
Okay, that's great. So again, kind of bearing in mind, or as we think about the Africa we want, and understanding that the 21st century economy is really becoming knowledge-based, skills centered on technical capability, soft skills, and business acumen, are even more essential at this present moment in time. So being a young African, what kind of skills would you say are becoming increasingly important for young job seekers to acquire and stay relevant in the job market?
I mean, recently, and even in line with what I do, my work, I've realized, obviously, tech, like computer skills and all is becoming very, very. I mean, it's going at a very fast pace, and it's not just tech as a whole. Tech branching into like different industries. So for now, we have stuff like agri-tech, whereby people are using technology to grow in the agricultural space, the cultural industry. But then what I think is becoming very, very demanding is artisanal skills. So skills like hands-on jobs.
Mhm.
Just recently, I think Germany introduced something called the opportunity card, and they are seeking to recruit people who have hands-on skills, plumbing, electrical skills, hairdressing, and all these kind of skills. I think especially in Africa, the focus has shifted a bit from these kind of skills to people wanting to have like certifications, wanting to go to school. I feel we can incorporate both. Certifications are very, very important.
Yeah.
Not to underestimate them, but then by doing that, we shouldn't forget the basic skills that drove industries.
Yeah.
So Japan, for example, Germany, and all those countries were moved with industrialization. So I feel these kind of skills, when we harness more of them, we can be able to grow the African continent and the world at large. So people should sort of venture into it. It can be provided so in Ghana, for instance, at the secondary school level, we have the Ghana Education Service provides sort of vocational training. So it can be in maybe bead making, it can be in car mechanic, again, a mechanic. It can be in hairdressing and all. So these things you can learn them for 2-3 years. After, you could still pursue or see a PM while still having these skills. Whenever you find yourself, you can be able to put it to use.
Okay, so I guess what you're essentially saying is, although we're talking about education, education doesn't come only in the form of formal education, right? So it could be non-formal education. So whether it's through on-the-job learning experience, you described and mentioned. So yeah, so I mean, you have a PMP, right? Which is a project management professional certification, right? So what inspired you to decide to pursue a certification and go straight for the PMP?
Wow. So my project management journey has sort of been an evolving one, like a rolling wave. I actually didn't know about project management as recently as 2019.
Okay.
No, 2015, yeah. So right, quite a short time. So how I discovered project management was after I completed my university education, I studied psychology. And in Ghana, there is a mandatory 1 year period of national service where you are assigned to a government agency or private agency and you work for a year, sort of an internship, but it's paid for a year. Yeah. So I was assigned to an agency, a youth employment agency. I had a superior, like a supervisor, who at the time was combining school with work. and he was studying project management. I didn't know about project management, so I asked about it, and he told me a lot about project management. And then as at the time, I didn't even know what I wanted to do, right? And then after hearing about project management, I was like, yeah, this is my thing. I can sort of be a master of everything.
Yeah.
Because project management actually gives you the opportunity to delve into various industries, in IT, in manufacturing, health, everywhere. There's project management there.
Right.
So I learned about project management and applied to study for my MBA, my master's in project management. As at the time, I didn't know PMI.
Okay.
But then I had a lecturer who at the time was attending a PMI conference. So we missed class for that week. So he came back and told us all about the PMI conference and actually what PMI was about, and encouraged us to join. At the time, we didn't have student clubs in Ghana. There was a Ghana local chapter, but we didn't have the student club. So I went online, looked into it, and I found out their certifications, not just the PMP, and then for even early entry roles like CAPM, a Certified Associate Project Manager.
Yeah.
Which is, also, I mean, PMP is a popular one, but I feel like people without any project management knowledge, when they try, they could start with CAPM and then there's sort of exposes a world of opportunities to them.
Yeah.
So that's how come I start for my PMP exam. Then, that was in June last year.
Okay, yeah. So, I mean, like you said, you went straight for the PMP, but for anyone that is interested in, pursuing a career in project management, but, doesn't necessarily have the background knowledge or prerequisite skills, you're basically saying that they could take the opportunity to explore the Certified Associate in Project Management, which will enable them to kind of gain the foundational knowledge they need in order for them to be able to stand out in the industry and in the job market with this certification.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
And one thing I found to realize is project management is everywhere, right? Right from your homes, our homes, everywhere. You just don't know it's project management, so you actually study project management. Realize I've been doing these things all this time. It's in sports, it's in entertainment, music, movie making, everywhere. So I feel like the certification sort of opens a pathway for you.
Right.
And sort of like formalizes it's kind of not, it's not about PMI bias. Even after I started from PMI, I read about the CAPM.
Yeah.
And if at the time I had known about CAPM, I'm sure I would have started with CAPM before even the PMP. So I encourage.
That's interesting. Now, you made mention that obviously project management is a versatile skill and profession. So given some of your backgrounds, I know you have a background in sports, like, can you share some similarities that can be drawn between project management and sports?
Okay, so sorry, I've always had a passion for sports. Growing up, the community I grew up in was mainly football. I wanted to do something in football, and then I wasn't good enough, so I had to.
Are you an Arsenal?
No, Barcelona.
Oh, wrong team. You need to be an Arsenal supporter. But go on, sorry.
So I started looking into like other opportunities, and I realized I'm a licensed FIFA agent, and what that does, I think that's just a fancy role for a project manager in sports.
Okay.
To me, so what a licensed agent does is makes the life of a footballer or club or an association easier by handling all the off the pitch stuff for them. So they handle their paperwork, handle their travel arrangements and everything. Okay. So for instance, Mbappe signing to Real Madrid now. I'm sure everybody knows about Mbappe and Real Madrid. He's busy with the Euro 2024 tournament, but then it doesn't mean the transfer is on hold. Things are going on. There's a team out there looking at his housing, accommodation, looking at his car, looking at so many other things. So an agent in that role will sort of spearhead that and have a team whereby everybody is assigned a task to attend to. So for me, football and project management share so many similarities in organizing football matches. There are so many stakeholders, both teams, a large number of players, fans that you all have to bring together.
Right.
And in project management is sort of just, collaborating, engaging stakeholders, managing communication, and all these things are things that can be found within the sports industry. So they go hand in hand for me.
Right. Okay. That's interesting to know. Now you made mention that the inspiration behind you, pursuing or further exploring or even researching into project management was due to your professor at the time, who was actually attending a PMI event. Based on his experience or even any kind of knowledge you acquired through your experience, have you had the opportunity to kind of attend any PMI event or project management related event that has kind of further helped you along your journey in terms of acquiring skills or networking with individuals? Like, have you had any kind of experiences that you can build off from PMI or project management related events, and what was the benefit to you?
Yeah, so I'm a member of the PMI Ghana chapter.
Okay.
So, and at the end of every month, in the last Friday of every month, we have like monthly meetings. And these are not just meetings like gathering, it could be webinar or in person. And it's been a great resource for me. For every session, there are invited speakers who come and talk about it from various backgrounds, from banks, from health, various backgrounds all the time, who come and share their experiences. These people sometimes are not even project managers in a sense. And then they come and share their ideas and experiences with us. So, and through these meetings, I've come to grow my network.
Right.
And yeah, coming into project management, I attended a webinar on LinkedIn. A webinar about LinkedIn, whereby the speaker encouraged us to grow our LinkedIn, build our brand with LinkedIn. And before I just had a LinkedIn account. I don't think I was even on checking my LinkedIn, but now I can start checking my LinkedIn more than my Instagram. And there are so many people on there who are just like me, and you can just say hello, send a message, hi, and trust me, 9 out of 10 times you get a response, and people are more than willing to provide mentorship to you. You meet people, you are older than people older than you, with more experience than you. All it takes is a hello, and then you have a new network. You have a new sort of expertise in your pocket. You have an avenue to seek employment opportunities, internships, volunteer roles, and everything. So project management has, I would say in a nutshell, broadened my network, met a lot of amazing people.
So
like
I guess
yourself.
and so I guess by joining the PMI family or community, it's almost like you've established an extended family, because you had the chance to connect with the local chapter, which is obviously in your case the Ghana chapter. But by connecting and joining the local chapter, you were able to meet a variety of volunteers that are doing a number of initiatives and activities across Ghana and I guess across the profession that I guess support individuals like yourself to be able to build and take the next steps on their career trajectory through the exposure, the mentorship, networking opportunities and what have you. So, bearing that in mind, it's almost just like by joining the chapter, it's almost another avenue, if you like, to kind of further build your skill set, but also make a contribution to the profession. And also support your local community by engaging with the kind of activities that the chapter, may be involved with, and just being able to advance the profession in a more meaningful way. So, bearing that in mind, I know you also have a kind of initiative that you run locally in Ghana, which is an initiative that, supports young people like yourself to, again, build their skill set, not necessarily in project management, but in diverse skills. and being able to kind of reintegrate them back into society, maybe due to their backgrounds or whatever it is that may have not provided a clear-cut avenue for them to be able to go to school. So bearing that in mind, again, how would you say the project management skills that you've built have positioned you in a way to kind of be your own entrepreneur and create an enterprise that enables you to support and give back to your community?
Okay, so if I get your question well, you're asking how the skills I've gained through project management, how I'm able to contribute to, like give back to society.
Yeah, because I know you have your own enterprise that kind of enables people to build skills to do that.
Yeah. So with project management, the thing is, I think with project management is the learning or experience gaining is subconscious.
Right.
A year ago, some things that like now, even being on this webinar sort of fair would have been very difficult. I couldn't have imagined it. But what project management has done for me is giving me the platform, the opportunities to speak to people.
Right.
To speak to people, especially in the student groups.
Right.
And by doing that, I have come to sort of ease down and build some confidence to be able to even be here right now. So I feel like project management is a confidence builder. It's you sit. I was in Mexico and I was on the table with PMI president Pierre Liman and all, and the conversations is just like normal conversation, like talking to your friends, talking to your group of friends. That's how PMI makes you feel. That's how project management has made me feel in the past year or two. I feel like I have grown a lot as a person and also in a professional space whereby I'm able to mentor. And then I have a sort of open policy as a volunteer group and as a volunteer member for the next gen. It's expected of me, but I sort of sometimes reach out to people. Just Friday, someone on LinkedIn in Chicago, US, messaged me trying to find out about how to study for the PNP. And I've been doing some research and trying to get him an ATP, like authorized training partner that he can join and all that. So I sort of go all out and let people know about what project management can offer, and not just project management, but the rest you can gain from education and certification.
So again, aside your experience through the chapter, the kind of initiatives and activities that you have been able to execute through, being a volunteer as part of the PMI Next Gen Insights has also supported you in being able to connect with others and again, build your skill sets and just again, expose you to other opportunities, like, as you mentioned, being able to meet the CEO of PMI. And so I think bearing these kind of things in mind, you also made mention the possibility of, or you see project management to be a confidence builder, right? So you met the CEO of PMI, you had the chance to kind of speak with him, which basically you're essentially saying that it helped you to build your soft skills, right? So bearing those kind of things in mind, what kind of challenges would you say young people face when trying to enter the workforce, and how, through project management, this has kind of helped you to kind of overcome some of these challenges?
Okay. I feel like one of the biggest challenges that young people face, like myself, is getting their foot in the door in the first place. So to even get the chance to, tell the interviewer or anybody what they can do. I feel like it's a very, very big challenge, and I would relate that with maybe sort of lack of internships or internship opportunities not being granted by companies. I believe being at that level when you're young, maybe in your teens or early 20s, that's like your sort of that chance for you to make every mistake, try everything you can. So say you are in the university for 4 years, level 100, or your first year after you have an internship in a manufacturing company. Fine, you have an experience. Second year, you have an internship in health. By the end of the 4 years, I believe you would have been in a better position to decide your career path, decide on what you want to do. what you want to do, because I've gone through all these four industries, and I feel like, okay, fine, I can help more in the health sector, I can help more in law. So by being provided with these opportunities, internship opportunities, one is able to test their skills and also develop their skills at the same time. And then after school, they will be in a better positions to attend interviews.
Right.
And they sit in front of panels and actually have something to show that yes, I did this. Aside your academic work, some people, I think I've met some of the best people like, academically who are so good, but then in practical work, they are found wanting. And yeah, I sort of, when you question them, sort of realize they didn't have any internship opportunity, they didn't have a chance to work or just be in a professional setting. They never did. So one challenge is lack of opportunities or lack of internships.
Okay.
Okay.
You know, when we started the conversation, you know, I spoke about like investing in yourself, right? And I feel like aside, you know, job internship opportunities as such, you know, there's also other ways in which you can kind of take charge of kind of creating what that opportunity could be for yourself. And that could be just as simple as joining a professional association like PMI. Because again, just using PMI as an example, you know, we work with academic institutions to ensure that as a student, you know, you are able to kind of take your first steps to ensure you are going to succeed as a project professional through the number of kind of tools and resources that you get access to once you become a student member. And so I guess what I'm essentially trying to say is another option could be to just, even if it's not necessarily an internship directly, by joining a professional association, again, you stand to gain a lot of benefits through the support that you'll get in building your career trajectory, but also the network of individuals you'll be exposed to. And again, it's almost just like the opportunities are really endless. So it's also up to us as individuals, despite our challenges, to kind of take charge and create those opportunities for ourselves. And so I say that again because, as I mentioned earlier, I know that you have a NGO, I think it is, that you are supporting. And that NGO does exactly that. It's helping those less privileged in the community or society to be able to hone in or build on their skill sets. So bearing that in mind, again, as or with your project manager hat on, how are you able to help young people that find themselves in a position like this to kind of execute a vision or an idea that they may have without, you know, having to wait for an internship opportunity?
Okay, that's great. I think currently in our present world, the internet is a great source of resources. You can literally go on YouTube and search for anything at all that you want to have an idea of, and instantly you have countless pages that or links that you can watch and learn from. And what I contribute internally, personally, is I do not hesitate to share opportunities. And yeah, so maybe there's a webinar happening. Most of the time it's free. There's a webinar happening. You can share the link, join freely, just learn it. Be there 30 minutes, 1 hour. You're going to learn things that will literally change your life, give you a different perception about life. And as I said earlier, at the time I was in school, there wasn't a student club PMI in my school. I feel like, now currently there are about 2 student clubs in Ghana that I know of, in Ghanaian universities. I think GIMPA and NKN University. So as a student who maybe isn't ready for an internship, just by joining these student clubs, you are exposed to also like another level of professional bodies and networks. In Mexico, at the PMI conference in Mexico, Aliki, I remember she brought a group of students who are from, I think, Mexico, Brazil, Costa Rica, or Chile, somewhere. They attended the conference. So imagine what's going to happen to them, like their confidence, being a university student, 18, 19, 20, attending a conference whereby you engage with the PMI leadership. You engage with regional mentors. You meet people you only knew on LinkedIn.
Right.
This sort of gives you increases your confidence and professional network.
Yeah, I mean, the purpose of the PMI student clubs really are to do exactly that, to support any young person kind of in their career of long learning and development journey. So, through a variety of initiatives and activities that are executed under the leadership of the students that head the student clubs, these are all ways in which, they're supporting your positioning you to be able to, again, build your expertise or build an experience that you will enable you to stand out in the job market. So again, thinking of our audience and young people, if you had any kind of advice to give for entering into the job market in the next few years, what would it be?
Yeah, wow. I mean, the job market is so crazy now. Yeah, there's a lot, but then being serious, prepare yourself remotely. Everything like there are people living in Ghana working for US organizations, working for UK organizations, working for German organizations. Don't just stick or sort of narrow yourself to one path. Learn everything that you can. Learn so many things. Don't get distracted. I'm not saying try so many things, but then just avail yourself, expose yourself to so many opportunities. Attend so many conferences, seminars. You never know where you might meet someone with an opportunity for you. Use LinkedIn. I cannot stress that enough. Use LinkedIn. Just message, not cold email or like harassing people, but then it could just be, hello, my name is Joseph, and nice to connect with you. I'm studying this, blah, blah, and all that. And trust me, you're getting a response within 24 hours, sometimes less. And
Right.
yeah, these things prepares you for the world. And then intern, try and apply for internship roles. That's when you intern at a place for, let's say, 2 years. With that 2 years, you get to know, not like, I mean, through vacations, breaks, let's say uni breaks, so 2 vacations. You will leave that place by getting to know or adding just one person to your network, somebody that can be your mentor, somebody that you can reach out to after school. When there's an opportunity, trust me, they are more likely to remember you than just a random person or a new person who is now applying to that role because they have known you for a year or two. They know what you're capable of. So in your early days, your uni days and university days and early 20s, I feel that the time you can just try your hands on anything and build your network. So in short, build your networking, learn and get certifications because that's how come the only way you can prove to be a good driver is by showing your license. Without your license, people are hardly not going to believe you. Although you might drive, but they might not give you their car in the first place to even test yourself and or show to them that you can drive. But having your license, will be like, okay, the government actually gives you this that you can drive. So having a certification like the PMP, like the CAP, people are more likely to consider you because at least there's some leverage for you. So gain certifications, learn, and then try out internship.
Yeah. Now, you also made mention about, building your network. And I guess one of the ways you could do this is through attending events. Now, as you know, a lot of great things happen when you join the PMI family, right? And one of these things, it could be by attending, some of our events that we have across, the world. And so focusing specifically on the African region, we have a global summit series, and this year we'll be hosting one in Africa, specifically in Kigali, Rwanda. And similar to past events that we've done, we have been intentional about having sessions whereby we have segments which are dedicated to young people across the region, where we explore topics and trends that pertain to young people and how we are enabling young people to be able to take the necessary steps to be able to again contribute to the development of a prosperous and united Africa. And so, bearing in mind your own experience, my question to you is, will you be in Kigali, Rwanda this year, this November, on the 18th to the 20th, sorry, of November, where we will be having our Global Summit series in Africa.
Yeah, I missed last year's one in
You
Kenya.
definitely missed out. You
I
definitely
saw some
missed out.
pictures and read articles, and I was like, I'm not going to miss this again. So definitely this year, I have two events on my calendar. That's the PMI Global Summit, the largest one in the US, and then Rwanda 2024, November 2024. So one of them, I mean, at least I'm going to be in Rwanda. I'm definitely going to be
You have
there.
no choice. You have no choice. You will be there. You have no choice. You need to be there.
Yeah.
You need to
Forward
come.
to meeting all the PMI members, volunteers, and all. And I mean, that's an amazing thing. I currently have a network of maybe almost everybody in Africa who's on PMI. I can literally go to PMI Kenya or PMI Botswana, the PMI
Yeah.
South Africa, and just say, hi, my name is Joseph. I'm a member of the PMI Ghana chapter or this, and then that's it. They are open to me. I can go to South Africa and just say, hello, I'm here, I'm lost. Can you help me? I'm a member of PMI. And I'm sure they'll pull up, they'll come to your aid just because you're part of one big family. So
Right,
I'm not
right,
slowing down on that. Yeah.
right, right. That's good to know. Well, Josie, thank you so much for your time today. It's been nice talking with you, hearing about your experiences and how, you've taken the necessary steps to be where you are today and doing all the amazing things that you're doing across Ghana and across the continent in general. But I mean, for me, I guess my parting words would also be to kind of keep in mind your long-term goals and keep them at the forefront of everything that you do, because your future really is your present and what you decide to do with it now. The path really is yours to construct and pursue. So I would say basically accomplish your desire by being your future today. And so that's my last parting words to our audience. So again, thank you all for your time. It's been a pleasure. I hope this has been insightful. I hope it's been meaningful. I hope it's given you some guidance and potential next steps as to how you can kind of ensure, you are also playing your role in seeing the Africa we want. Again, thank you all for your time. Over to you, Ahmed.
Thank you very much. I was going to ask you one final question, but what advice you also give? But then you just went ahead and
Yeah, sorry, I got ahead of you. Great minds think alike.
yeah. Thank you very much for having me. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you. Thank you.
Joanna, Joseph, both of you, thank you so much for your time today. And as I often say when I attend PMI sessions, project management is a skill that applies across all industries, right? We have Joseph in the sports industry, but I mean, it really does apply to everybody everywhere. And I think what I love about the session today is you guys show how much of a community PMI really is, right? And Joseph, you in particular, you really see it coming out in the way you talk about the organization. So thank you for sharing that with us today. For everybody else that's on the call, I did want to let you know that we have an upcoming session with Nida Achon. She's a director of strategy and operations at AAA in North California. And Nida is originally Palestinian. She's lived in the region the MENA region for a long time. She's going to be talking to us today about embracing challenges, stepping out of your comfort zone and pursuing opportunities that stretch your capabilities. So maybe getting into project management could be one of those things. So please come across to the other session. It's about to start in 2 minutes. Once again, Joanna and Joseph, thank you so much for your time today. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Looking forward to meeting you.